Let's see if I can do something back here. Ah, there's OBA.
It was one of the windows of the jail. The cell was vacant. It was one of the cell windows.
Well, there's Dwayne.
There was a forlorn-looking guy asleep on the floor of the jail. It was Miguel, the pipe player. Hey,
how would you know?
Miguel! He didn't hear me. It was that suspect archaeologist, Ubier.
And that's Dwayne.
It was Pearl's husband, Dwayne. It was a beat-up old wreck of an army truck.
Doesn't look that bad.
It was a beat-up... Professor Ubier?
Yes? Who are you?
My name is Stobart. George Stobart.
I thought that face was familiar. Remember me, George? Dwayne Henderson.
Hi, Dwayne. Just a moment. I have a few questions to ask the professor.
More
here.
important than you. Right now. No offense, Dwayne.
What are you doing in Caramonte, Professor?
Seeking Mayan artifacts. Central American history has been my life's work.
Now, let's see. Want a doggy treat?
Would you like a biscuit?
No, thank you.
You should, they're good. I can't get enough of these things.
Seems George is gonna try to push those doggy treats to everybody. What should I ask first?
Do you see this label?
Yes. It refers to a company named Condor. What of it?
I traced that company here to Quaramonte. Do you know where I can find the offices of Condor Transglobal?
The company no longer exists. They went bankrupt recently.
Oh, really? Huh. Fascinating.
I have proof that you are directly involved with Condor.
I used them as shippers to transport artifacts to a gallery in Paris. Beyond that, I have no connection with the company, which, as I said, no longer exists.
Very interesting. I'll talk to you soon enough. Like now. Okay, let's see. Your wife.
Tell me about your wife, Professor.
Please, I don't want to talk about her.
Did you shoot her, or what happened to her?
You shot her, didn't you?
No. I loved Carol. She meant the world to me.
So you didn't kill her. Yeah, it's easy to tell from the tone of his voice. Hey there, Everengu.
What do you know about my girlfriend's abduction?
I don't know what you're talking about.
She was invited to your mansion in Paris.
Not by me, she wasn't. I haven't been home for nearly 7 months.
George, try to get it into your head. He is innocent. He has nothing to do with these guys. He's as innocent as you are.
Does the name Karzak mean anything to you?
Yes, I know him. In fact, if it wasn't for Kazak, I wouldn't be here.
What?
He's financing my expedition.
See? He is innocent. He's just being financed by these guys.
Have you ever employed a Central American butler or servant?
I've never employed any kind of servant, monsieur.
Do you know anything about this eclipse, Professor?
Of course. It's not the reason I'm here in Quaramonte, but I'm looking forward to seeing it all the same.
I mean, who doesn't want to see an eclipse?
What's your interest in the eclipse, Professor?
Oh, it's purely a layman's curiosity. History's my subject, not astronomy. But I've been fascinated by the movements of the heavenly bodies since I was a child. I wouldn't miss a total eclipse for the world.
Well, I've been also interested in the movements of some heavenly bodies, if you know what I mean. Anything else about the eclipse?
Does the eclipse have some special significance for you?
From me? No. For the ancient Mayans, it marked the end of the 5th age.
Perhaps we should be celebrating.
Ah, no. The end of each age heralds destruction on a global scale. The 5th is the final age, ending in the total destruction of the Earth.
So this game is based on the year 2012? Maybe?
Take a look at this, Professor. What have you got to say about that?
Where did you get this?
Never mind that. How do you explain these withdrawals?
I left my financial affairs in the hands of my secretary.
Including the withdrawal of funds in cash from your personal account?
I trust Gwyneth implicitly.
And why Marseille? Why the very place my girlfriend was taken?
That's obvious, Stobart. We are both the victims of the same devious plot.
What plot?
I have no idea.
That's what we're here to find out, George.
Can you tell me anything about this stone?
Where did you get that?
That's my business.
How much do you want for it?
It's not for sale.
You still didn't tell us anything about the stone. Okay.
Can you identify this statue, Professor?
Oh, yes. Tezcatlipoca, the Lord of Darkness.
A Central American god, right?
A supreme deity. Tezcatlipoca means, literally, smoking mirror. There. You see the mirror shield in his left hand? The Mayans believed he could look into the mirror and see into the hearts of men. He was the wind which came howling in the night in search of victims. And victims they gave him by the thousand.
Human sacrifices?
Men, women, children, animals, anything that bled. The steps of his temple ran red with the blood of sacrifices. The Mayans have a legend that says he'll return one day. I hope I'm not around to see it.
Hopefully not. Human sacrifices, always that icky thing about Mayans and Aztecs and pretty much any ancient culture. Okay, Dwayne, let's talk.
Are you still working for... you know who?
Who's that, George? You know I'm retired.
Oh, nothing. Forget it. I confused you with somebody else.
Oh, I do that all the time.
Yeah, I thought you were a fat Albert or Gomer Pyle.
Do you think the general was involved with Condor?
Hell no. And if he's a general, I'm a Buddhist. No, that fella's just a mouthpiece for the real power in Quaramonte.
Yet he has some power, apparently. So he's not a total waste of breath.
So the general is nothing but a puppet?
He's like Pinocchio before he met the Blue Rinse Fairy. Strictly strings and wood.
I've got no
Who's
strings
pulling the
to hold
strings?
me down.
His mother. Better known as La Presidenta, the dictator.
Huh. Mama's boy.
Does the name Karzak mean anything to you?
Sounds like a comic book villain to me, son.
Yeah, it does
He's the
sound.
man behind Condor, and the rat who kidnapped Nico.
You know, the first time I met you, I was deeply impressed with your naive simplicity. I said to Pearl, if we ever had kids, I would have wanted a boy like George. But I underestimated you, son.
So I'm not that naive or simple? That warms my heart, George. George? Dwayne. Ugh. Don't even remember the correct character names anymore.
I spoke to Pearl earlier.
Yeah? Did she mention that we had a kind of falling out?
Yep.
Yes, she did.
She'll get over it.
I hope so.
Did you know that traditional music is illegal in Caramonte?
Is that so? Seems reasonable to me.
No, really. The leader of the band in the square has been imprisoned just because of the music he played.
I don't know who you've been talking to, but that fella, Miguel, he's an agitator.
Really? In what way?
What's the real reason the musician was imprisoned?
Handed out subversive literature at the mines. That so-called general was waiting for Miguel when he got back into town. Marched him off to jail at gunpoint on a charge of inciting a riot.
And that kind of inside substantive writing stuff. Man the arms! Arm the men! Revolution!
Did you drive all the way down here?
Hell no. Pearl did the driving while I followed the maps. The way she handled the wheel, you'd think she'd been trucking half her life.
Must be very impressive.
What's in the truck, Dwayne?
Oh, just camping equipment. Sleeping bags and tents. Me and Pearl always hankered after a taste of the great outdoors.
Aren't you worried about camping out in the tropical jungle?
We had a trial run in West Virginia. This'll be a breeze in comparison.
Well, the West Virginia doesn't really have the same kind of, you know, flora and fauna as this area. Ever thought of that? You know? All kinds of dangerous animals out there. Snakes, spiders. Piranhas, maybe? If you go swimming.
Would you like a biscuit, Dwayne?
Oh no, those gourmet dog snacks bring me out in a rash.
You've tried them?
They were on special offer. Pearl bought a whole crate. When I asked her if she was thinking of keeping a dog too, she just laughed.
So she just bought them for herself and you. Too bad you're allergic to the treats.
Would you like to borrow my lucky piece of coal, Dwayne?
What's so lucky about it?
I made a goat
We
talk.
made it to Quaramonte in one piece.
When you've been here a few days, you won't look on that as luck.
It made the goat speak. Oh yeah, I'm not supposed to be mentioning that to anybody.
Do you know anything about a shipping company called Condor Transglobal?
I never heard of it, son.
What do you think of these panties, Dwayne?
Lord, hot stuff, George. You buy those for your girl?
No. A guy we know in Paris bought them for her.
Oh, you're a threesome then.
Oh hell no.
Why are you looking at me like that, George?
Forget it.
Because George wants to murder you and then Andre. Trust me. Good way for him to get rid of his wife. Take her camping in the jungle. Actually, yeah. They do have a falling out right now, so wouldn't
There
be
was a
surprised.
forlorn-looking guy asleep on the floor of the jail. It was Miguel, the pipe player.
Can we talk to him now?
There was a forlorn-looking guy. It was.
No, you're just gonna be looking in there, not talking. Okay, we gotta find a way to get inside there and talk to Miguel. Pearl, go talk to Dwayne.
Have you met the guy who calls himself the General?
No, I haven't. Is he a real general?
I guess so. He wears a lot of medals on his chest. The wrong side of his chest. At least for any army I'd ever seen.
Well, maybe they have it on the other side here in Central America. Ever thought of that? Different culture, different ways.
I hear you drove all the way to Quaramonte. In a truck.
That's right. You would not believe the state of some of those roads.
Trust me, I do
It
believe.
makes me downright sad to think there's still some places you can't reach in an automobile. In this day and age, you'd think there'd be decent highways just about anywhere folk choose to go.
Not in South America.
Catch you later, Pearl.
As many of those that I've heard about and read about, some of those are death traps. Or just very, very deadly and dangerous areas to drive through.
Tell me about the General. You know, the guy in charge around here.
We don't want to talk about him, Senor.
How come? No one can hear you. Well, only that old goat.
In Quaramonte, we have a saying. Don't tell your old goat what you don't want your wife to know.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Well, at least you don't give a call to the goat. Then it will talk. I wonder if we can make it talk again. I doubt it. Yeah, only worked once. Yeah, you just keep walking there, Nico. You stay inside. Damn it.
Go away.
Well, excuse me, princess. I guess she's got nothing to say.
I wasn't gonna get anything out of the gourd lady except spit.
Okay. Yo, Nico! Wanna go bowling?
There was nothing else I wanted to talk to Nico about at that time.
What is this picture, by the way? Should have taken a look at
It
this.
was a portrait of La Presidenta.
Is she good looking?
In Quaramonte, defacing a poster was probably a capital offense.
You can always say that the goat did it, because it's right there.
Hey, Nico!
We're going to the mine company office. So move that sweet ass over here. Well, hello, red-haired lady. Greetings.
Hola, senora.
Hi. We were wondering...
I was talking to the lady, Chico.
Ah.
Hi, my name is Nicole Collard.
Concha Garcia. How can I help you, sister?
The corporation I represent is considering a major investment in Quaramonte. Your advice, as the head of an obviously successful concern, is precisely what I'm after. My assistant, Mr. Stobart, has a few questions he'd like to ask you.
If you allow me to ask a few questions there.
Can you tell me about the accident at the mine?
Accident? It was sabotage.
Sabotage?
Somebody wanted my mine closed down for good.
Huh. Do tell more.
Do you have any evidence that the mine was sabotaged?
Not yet, but I'll get to the bottom of it. There'd been trouble at that mine for several months. The workforce was getting smaller every day. Someone had started a rumor among the men that the mine was cursed. Now the entire operation has been closed down.
Do tell more.
Where's the site of the mine?
Several days upriver at a remote area known as Teoculcan.
Teoculcan. Fascinating. Want a biscuit?
Would you like a dog biscuit?
Would you like a smack in the mouth, Chico?
Well, from you. No. You seem dangerous.
Have you heard about the forthcoming eclipse?
I don't take much interest in things like that. One of the boys might know about it.
Lesbian? Feminist. Definitely feminist. She doesn't like men. Well, maybe she could be a lesbian too. But she more seemed like a feminist type.
Have you heard of a man named Karzak?
No? Who is he?
He's the reason we came to Quaramonte. We think he's running a drug ring.
Well, I hope you find him, but I've never heard the name before.
Do you know Professor Ubier?
Yes. I understand he is about to embark on an archaeological expedition.
That's what we
He
heard.
hired some equipment from me earlier today.
I overheard him talking to the general. I think they're working together.
What? If I'd known that, I wouldn't have hired out the equipment. Now, why would the general be interested in an archaeologist?
That's a good question. That's why we want to take a look at the chart. As a map for some locations that we would like to take a look at.
Do you recognize the icon on this label?
Know anything
Condor
about it?
Transglobal.
Did the company operate here in Quaramonte?
Yes, they ran an old container ship, the Mayan Princess.
Uh-huh. Anything else?
Do you know who owned Condor Transglobal?
I've no idea.
Thanks for answering anyway.
You see this? It's my lucky piece of coal.
What's so lucky about it?
I'm not sure yet.
We made a goat talk.
Nice buns.
Okay. Forget I said anything about being a feminist. She's weird. She's really weird.
Does this stone mean anything to you?
I think it is a spirit stone carved by a Mayan priest, no? I don't know which of their many gods it represents.
Okay, before I ask about testicle polka,
Would you be interested in these panties? They look about your size.
Is that your best line, Chico?
I'm serious. They were an unwanted gift.
Put them away before you get overexcited.
went over as well as we could have thought for. Hey there, Christy.
Can you tell me anything about this statue?
It is Tezcatlipoca, the god of death and pestilence. That fetish would be considered by many to be a bad omen.
That's what we've been hearing all the time.
It was one of Conchita's posse of hunks.
So maybe that's why she's so abrasive against George. He's not that good looking.
Hi. Good afternoon, and welcome to Consolidated Mining. If you are planning to stay in Cuaramonte City, may I recommend the Consolidated Mining Experience, an interactive hands-on tour of one of our deepest mines, with talking tour guides available in 3 different languages.
A tour of a mine.
Well, this is a mining company. What else did you expect?
Well, I wasn't expecting a whole speech about the advertisement.
Do you know anything about the eclipse that's due soon?
Me? No, senor.
Gotta ask the other guys then.
Do you know where I could find Senor Karzak?
No, senor.
Thanks.
How come you're not wearing any pants?
I feel more alert without them. Kind of perky.
And your boss doesn't mind?
She suggested it.
Uh-huh. Yep. You're weird. You are so weird.
It was a store cupboard. It was Conchita, the owner of the mining company. A disgustingly handsome man.
How can anybody be disgusting and handsome at the same time? Maybe he's so handsome, he makes you puke.
I couldn't understand why the female owner had surrounded herself with men like this.
Eye candy. Ever heard of it, George? No? Because you're not eye candy. Like Nico there. Well, Nico is eye candy for you, George.
The guy was working away like an automaton.
That's how office workers work. They're robots just doing their stuff. Get off the phone. I wanna talk to ya.
Are you looking forward to the eclipse of the sun?
Not especially. Are you?
I don't know. I've never seen one. All I know about eclipses is that you shouldn't try to view them with the naked eye.
Please, go away and let me get on with my work.
Glad you asked. I have another question.
Ever heard of a guy called Karzak?
Can't you see I'm busy? If I don't finish this stock report, the boss will be mad as hell.
Sure, I'll leave you alone then. I was wondering about that. Why can you not look at a total sun eclipse with your naked eye? I wonder what the science is behind it that causes the retinal damage to your eye when you look at it. Or if you look at it.
Did you know there's an eclipse of the sun in a few weeks' time?
Yeah, Joe told me about it. He's having a party and we're all invited.
Cool.
Me and the boys are dressing up as evil monks.
Eclipse
Yeah?
party! Woo!
Cool. Ever hear of a guy called Karzak?
No, sir.
Okay, Mr. Automaton, you're our last hope. Give us answers, man.
Do you know anything about the eclipse?
Yes, and I'm really looking forward to seeing it. I heard it's going to be pretty spectacular.
It's in a few weeks' time, isn't it?
9 days.
Thanks. Ever heard of a guy called Karzak?
No.
Well, now we know precisely when the eclipse is going to be. In 9 days. 9 days. It doesn't have the same effect as 7 days. After you, Miss Bouncy. They drew Nico too well, if you ask me. I think that's what they went for. They knew what they were drawing when they were drawing Nico.
There was nothing else I wanted.
Okay. So let's see. I need to get into the jail. I need to take a look at the chart.
Hey, Nico!
It's dangerous because the sun is pretty damn bright. Yup. It's the same as just staring directly at the sun, you suppose. Now, there is something else. I mean, you can stare right at the sun for a few seconds and it might not even harm your retina at all, but they always warn you about not looking straight at the total eclipse of the sun because that definitely causes some retinal damage. But I don't know why. I don't know how. Sun flares, maybe? Because of the ring? I should look it up from somewhere. Some information.
Do you have a map of Quaramonte?
A map? I'm sorry, senor, but I don't.
And what's the chart?
What about the one on the wall?
Yep.
Ah, that is an archaeological survey map, senor. Not suitable for tourists.
It would be very suitable for us, though.
I decided to leave the television switched on.
Nico, could you talk to the guy?
There was nothing else I wanted to talk to Nico about at that time.
Would you like the panties back?
What was it you wanted to talk about?
I didn't think she'd be interested.
Let's think. So, pretty much we have talked to everybody around town. Maybe there's there is an area we can go to. If it lets us. Just goes around the building. Gotcha. Ah, Ubia is gone. And there's somebody just sitting there.
Who's a friendly-looking guy?
With no legs. Maybe you're...
Hi, I'm George Stobart.
Maybe you're the guy who survived the mining accident?
What can you tell me about the mining company?
The general closed down one of their mines after the explosion. Lots of folks lost their lives. I was lucky. I only lost my legs.
So you're one of the musician's cousin.
Do you recognize the design on this label?
Why, sure. That's the Condor Transglobal Shipping Company logo.
Do they have an office in Quaramonte?
No, but they ship out from here.
That's what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see the ship with the Condor flag?
No.
But the dock is just the other side of the square.
Might as well be the other side of the moon.
Yeah, he doesn't have legs, so he doesn't have the height to see over the buildings.
Have you heard about the eclipse of the sun?
Sure, I'm having a party to celebrate it. Drop by.
Sure.
Really?
Sure. Plenty of food, plenty of wine, and everyone's invited.
Except the general, of course.
Why don't you want the general at your party?
Because if he comes, he'll bring those damned music albums from the 70s.
Disco music? No, easy listening. Ugh.
Can you tell me anything about this stone?
That's obsidian. It's a volcanic rock which has cooled so fast that...
Yeah, look, I'm not interested in geology.
You're not? I suppose you want to know about the carved picture on it.
Yes.
That's right.
Then the guy you should talk to is the professor. He was here a while ago.
I wonder where he went.
What do you think of these panties?
Awesome. You wear them?
No. Someone sent them to my girlfriend.
Thoughtful.
Thoughtful? Thoughtful? George, get the crowbar. Bash his head in. Think that imagine he's Andre.
Do you know what this statue represents?
Should do. I used to carve things like that to sell to tourists. But it scared people around here, so I stopped.
So maybe that's one of your carvings then? Yo, Dwayne boy! Where's the professor?
Have you really never heard of Condor?
Of course I have, son. Matter of fact, it was old Dwayne's investigations scared him off.
So first you say you haven't heard of them and now you have heard of them because of your investigation.
Did you find any evidence of Condor's drug smuggling operations?
Drugs? Hell no! Condor was a cover for the illegal export of Mayan artifacts.
So they were doing something illegal, but it wasn't drugs.
So who was behind Condor Transglobal?
It was registered in the name of Edan.
Did you get the guy?
I don't think he ever existed. Edan backwards spells Nady, Spanish for nobody.
Huh. Must have been Karzak then.
Maybe I'm wrong, but you seemed kind of evasive when I asked you about what you had in that truck before.
Damn right I was being evasive. I couldn't talk in front of the foreign national, see? George, I'm on a top-secret classified mission for Uncle Sam.
You don't say.
This truck is a rolling bomb. 400 pounds of nitrate fertilizer with a plastique initiator. They'll hear the bang in China. Gee, I'm really looking forward to this.
That's kind of a huge bang. Get out of the car. Now. Jeez.
Is Miguel the reason you're here?
Pretty smart, George. I was supposed to make contact with him. By the time I found him, though, he was in jail. I've been trying to figure out a way to get him out since then.
Sounds good to me. Count me in.
Good man, George. All I need is a detonator.
A detonator, huh? We could ask some people about in the mining company. That guy over there. The musicians.
How come you brought a truckload of explosives but no detonator?
Call me old-fashioned, but I say packing trunks is woman's work. I left the packing to Pearl, and I can't find a darn thing. Just hope she remembered to bring my denture polish. I'd sure hate to arrive back in the States with tar on my teeth.
Oh, heavens forbid from that ever happening. Also, did you ever ask Pearl where the detonator is? Or is that the reason you two are having a little fallout? A freaking detonator.
Did you know that the truck was full of explosives?
Whatever gave you that idea, as if I couldn't guess?
Your husband. He was exaggerating, wasn't he?
Sometimes I wonder how I'm gonna cope with Dwayne's over-fertile imagination.
So let me guess, it's just a box of shoes, maybe.
Do you know where I could buy a detonator?
Did Dwayne put you up to this by any chance? Oh, I get it. This is to detonate the truckload of explosives, right?
Yep.
Hey, come on, I was kidding. Did you think I was serious?
I know what you boys are like when you get together and make plans. Dwayne says he could solve all the world's problems if he had enough missiles.
Of course.
Catch you later, Pearl.
So no detonator from you, Pearl. I'm gonna talk to the legless guy, because he worked at the mines, so he might know about some detonators. Maybe.
I had nothing more to say.
Okay. Maybe. Next time on Broken Sword 2. Okay, little worm, do your stuff.
She wouldn't have been interested.
Shit.